Fantasy football fan, what's going on? This is Fantasy Football AF. I'm your host, Mitchell Renz. Today, I'm drinking Top Cutter Indian Pale Ale, courtesy of Tavour and the box of beer they sent me. You want a custom box of beer from craft breweries all over the country? I need you to head over to Tavour.com right now. Use that promo code CHATSPORTS for $10 off your very first purchase. Let's open this bad boy, and Harris, let's send it. Yo guys, what's going on? This one's coming in from Chris Nail, and this is use that hashtag Mitch Please on Twitter, on Instagram, on YouTube, on Facebook. Anytime that you want your question answered, use that hashtag Mitch Please. And my dude Chris Nail 83, he's got a high quality question. Mitch, who do you feel starts week 1 for the Seattle Seahawks? It's a good question, and well, I think this one could go a few different ways, Chris. And the guy also has your first name, and the reason why I think it's going to be a guy like Chris Carson is because, well, he's the #1 running back right now for the depth chart, and he's an OK grad, as I get a sign over there from my dude, Dilly Dilly. So he's a guy, ADP right now in round 11, and I don't think, obviously, I would take Chris Carson over Rashad Penny, but I'll pass on Rashad Penny 100% of the time. I'm going to stiff arm him harder than what Juju did to Malik Khalifa. Like, I'm not going to deal with it, right? I want a guy like Chris Carson who's going way later in drafts, who right now is the top running back on the depth chart, who's a better pass blocker than a guy like Rashad Penny. But ultimately, Chris, I know I didn't answer the second part of your, I had the second part of your question up there, but do you really want Chris Carson or Penny? I don't really know, and the reason is because, well, Seattle Seahawks last year scored 34 touchdowns on offense. Russell Wilson scored 33 of them. The only other guy to score a touchdown was J.D. McKissick. That's it. And that ultimately is not something I'm really crazy about. And, well, who do you feel starts week 1 for the Seahawks? I think it's actually going to be Carson. I think it's going to be a committee. And do I really want any part of it, either of them? No. I'll be honest. I really don't want either of them. But if I had to pick based on ADP, it would ultimately be a guy like Chris Carson, who I think is, a little bit better just in terms of average draft value. Okay, next one. Next Mitch Please I got coming up on the board. This one's from Facebook, so shout out to Adam Solomon. So Mitch, please let us know which strategy is better, running back strong or wide receiver strong. So I think what he means here is, do I go running back heavy or wide receiver heavy early in drafts? And Adam, what I'm going to tell you is I like to be like water. I want to be smooth, and I just want to be kind of do whatever feels natural, right? So if there's a lot of running backs going early, pick a wide receiver. Always do tier-based drafting. If you don't know what tier-based drafting is, Google it. Google's a hell of a thing, right? So, but tier-based drafting is making players ranks, right? So Antonio Brown, tier 1 guy. Todd Gurley, tier 1 guy. If tier 1 guys aren't on the board anymore, I'm going to then look for my tier 2 guys. Like, do tier-based drafting. Every draft is a little bit different. So I think that's ultimately the better strategy. Okay, next Mitch Please coming up on the board is from Instagram. Shout out to Instagram. Follow me on Instagram at MitchellRenz365. I'm in more places than just Twitter, I promise. So, opinion on Brandin Cooks. This one's from Hagen. I wish I could pronounce your last name. Awesome. Opinion on Brandin Cooks this year. Well, Brandin Cooks, little do you know, over 1,000 yards the last 3 years. He's only 5 wide receivers have done that the last 3 years. But now he's in a new city. He's got a new team. And to be honest, I don't even think he's going to be the top scoring wide receiver on his team. I think a guy like Cooper Kupp is probably going to be the top scoring guy. So in terms of Brandin Cooks and where he's going in ADP, I'm good. Like I'm going to do a hard pass on a guy like Brandin Cooks. Okay, next question I got for you guys. Zeke with the #2 overall pick. Oh, man. Well, I think the Cowboys are absolutely going to feed Zeke, and I don't really blame them. I mean, Ezekiel Elliott is an absolute stud of a running back, and I think when you just ultimately look at Zeke and how productive he's been, I mean, 98.5 rushing yards per game last year, and you look at 25 games, 25 touchdowns for Zeke. The Cowboys, if they feed Zeke, I think he's a guy who you ultimately, should really invest in. And you know who else I hope keeps feeding me these beers? I hope Tavour keeps feeding these beers, because I could drink these freaking things all day. Tavour is going to hook you up, guys, with amazing beers you've always wanted to try. And for me, I like to sample different beers, and, well, I can't get Top Cutter from Washington here in Texas. So I go to Tavour. They send me a giant box of beer, curated just for me. I love IPAs. They hooked me up. Whole bunch of IPAs, right? So what I want you guys to do right now is head over to Tavour.com. Use that promo code CHATSPORTS to save $10 on your very first purchase. Tell them Mitch sent you. Hit me up on Twitter. We'll get the word going, because Tavour, those guys are lit AF as well. Tavour, cheers to you guys. Thank you so much. Okay, who is the best running back in the NFL? If you guys think it's Zeke, type in Zeke. If you guys think it's Gurley, type in Gurley. If you think it's Le'Veon Bell, throw in Bell. I don't know. If you think it's Chris Carson, maybe you're drunk off Tavor, but, you know, throw it in there anyway. I want to know, who's the best running back in the NFL? Okay, next, Mitch, please. This one's coming in from Instagram. It's from ND Sports. Will Mike Evans be a top 5 wide receiver? Ooh, boy. I would have said last year, yeah, probably. Why? Because in 2016, he was the #1 wide receiver in the NFL. 96 catches, 12 touchdowns. Dude was a beast. But last year, only 5 touchdowns, over 1,000 yards. But he's a guy who has over 68 catches every single year. Over 1,000 yards every single year. And from a talent standpoint, I think he is the top 5 receiver in terms of talent. But I don't like Jameis, and that schedule is super hard. So here are my top 5 wide receivers for fantasy football. At number 1, it's, of course, Antonio Brown. That dude's booming. DeAndre Hopkins at number 2. And you could actually make an argument that DeAndre could be number 1 because with Deshaun Watson last year, he was on pace for 1,500 yards and 17 touchdowns. Julio Jones comes in at number 3. Odell Beckham is in at 4. Odell Beckham has never been a top 3 wide receiver. Sorry, Odell. And then number 5 is Keenan Allen. The Chargers, they're going to be a good offense, and without guys like Hunter Henry, I think it might hurt their offense in general, but he's going to see even more targets, especially in the red zone. Keenan Allen, 14 red zone targets last year. Those are my top 2018 wide receivers for fantasy football. Okay, next one coming in. Mitch, please, is from YouTube. This is from Varun. Venta Kaguri. Wow, that sounds like something I would order at a sushi bar. Sorry if I butchered that, my man. Okay, Matt Ryan or Cam Newton? Which guy do I want? But this show isn't just about me. I want to know from you guys. Which quarterback is going to score more fantasy points in 2018? Is it going to be Cam Newton, type 1, or Matt Ryan, type 2? Cam Newton is the only player in the NFL that has 5 rushing touchdowns since 2011. Matt Ryan, let's not forget, he was the MVP in 2016. But I'm not going to give my answer. I'm going to give you my argument for both of those guys. So I want you guys to decide. Cam Newton 1, Matt Ryan type 2. If you guys want to know what my opinion is, hit me up on Twitter at MitchellRenz365. It's right down there. Okay, next one coming in on YouTube. Mitch, please. Best spot to draft in an 18 PPR league? For me, it's pick number 5. I like the top 5. I like the top 4 running backs, and then I like Antonio Brown. If I can get one of those top 5 guys for my first overall pick, that's what I want. So for me, the best spot to draft in is at pick 5. It's a good question there, Edgar. Okay, next one coming in is from Hungry420. Again, I think you're hungry because your name is 420. You need a Corona in that hand. Nah, dude, like I would much rather drink Top Cutter every day of the week because I love IPAs, and Tavor, they actually put out good beers unlike Corona. Corona's gross. Like, let's be real. You know what, Hungry? I want you to head over to Tavor. I want you to use that promo code CHATSPORTS, get $10 off, and actually get some good beer in your life. Send me a picture. I'll retweet it at MitchellRenz365. Okay, is it safe to draft Julio Jones? The answer to that is yes. Why? Julio Jones is really freaking good. Over 1,400 yards last year, 3 touchdowns. He's the only wide receiver to be top 3 in the NFL in receiving yards the last 3 years. Antonio Brown hasn't done it. So, do I think Julio Jones is safe to draft? Hell yeah, I do. Like, 100%, I think he is 100% safe to draft. Okay, guys, something pretty cool coming in. I got Battle of the Brews, and my girl Jay, she's going to tell you a little bit more about it.
What's going on, you guys? It's now time for Battle of the Brews, sponsored by Tavor. Which beer should Mitch drink next week on Fantasy Football AF? It's a battle of the IPAs. I've got a fantastic voyage from New England in a Bison Beatbox from Virginia. So type A in the comments if you think it should be a fantastic voyage next week, or type B if you think it should be the Bison Beatbox. And make sure to head on over to Tavor.com, but use that promo code CHATSPORTS to get $10 off your order, $20 or more.
Oh, do I consider Tyler Lockett a sleeper? From Anthony Lawless. Well, Anthony, I don't really know. Harris is giving me the thumbs down for acting like I was sleeping, so whatever, right? Screw it. All right, Anthony Lawless. Is Tyler Lockett a sleeper? Well, Doug Baldwin I like, if he can stay healthy, and they don't really have any other targets, so could he be a sleeper? Sure. Tyler Lockett coming out of K-State. Shout out to Brett Scott, K-State alum there. But do I think he's going to be a sleeper? No. I think he's talented, but ultimately I just don't want Tyler Lockett because, well, I don't really know if he can be that great in the NFL. Sorry, dude. I'm going to say no to Tyler Lockett. I wouldn't draft him. Okay, next one coming in is from Tristan, and I love this question. Mitch, please use that hashtag so I can get that trending. That'd be dope. Jerick McKinnon or Jordan Howard? It's a great question because both these guys are back-to-back in my rankings, and, well, I want to know what you guys think as well. Should I draft a guy like Jerick McKinnon on a new team, or should I draft a guy like Jordan Howard? Which running back will score more fantasy points in 2018? Type in 1 for Jerick McKinnon or type in 2 for Jordan Howard. Jordan Howard, his last 2 years, has been really freaking productive. And actually, over the last 4 years, or over the last 2 years, only 4 running backs have scored at least 20 rushing touchdowns. Is Jordan Howard one of them? I don't know. You might have to find that one out. But he's been a guy who's been unbelievably productive. And Jerick McKinnon has been, well, not all that great, but he's a guy who I think can absolutely break out in his first year in the San Francisco 49ers, because I think Shanahan knows the type of running back that works really well. And I like McKinnon a lot. So between Jerick McKinnon type 1, Jordan Howard type 2, which running back is going to score more fantasy points in 2018? Shout out to you guys, and shout out to Tavor for sponsoring Fantasy Football AF, because, well, they're lit AF. This show's lit AF. Follow me on Twitter, @MitchellRens365 if you guys like the show. And until next time, I'll see ya.